Here's number 2. It's easy to buy. And the most you can pay for this little book is probably $20. You can borrow that from your kids, right? Kids have got the money these days. Point number 3. It's easy to read. It's in story form. That's why I recommend it for kids. In 2 or 3 concentrated evenings, you could read this little book. If you got inspired, you could read it probably in one evening. Wow, I hope some out of this audience will find this little book, get inspired, read it in one evening, let it help you go make your fortune, get rich. And then come back and tell me about it. And bring me a check for 10%, please. No, I don't need the money. So point number 1, what? Easy to find. Point number 2, easy to buy. Point number 3, easy to read. Here's point number 4. It's easy not to look for this little book. And that's the difference between rich and poor. What's easy to do is easy not to do. My mama studied and practiced and taught good health. That's why I've been healthy all my life. My father lived to be 93. Mama studied and practiced. Mama said an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Got a good question for this intelligent audience. What if that's true? You say, well, Mr. Rohn, if that's true, that certainly would be easy to do. Then what is the problem? The problem is what's easy to do is easy not to do. So make the note. You must be smarter than that. Don't neglect and carve out, big chunks of your future possibilities and fortune. So this little book is easy to find and easy to read and easy to buy, but it's easy not to look. I've recommended this little book now to millions of people over the last 45 years. Guess how many have gone and found it? Very few. My best guess is about 10%. You say, well, Mr. Rohn, why wouldn't the other 90% go look for this little book? We don't know. What do you know? You don't know? I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's all we know. Some do and some don't. There's no use trying to figure this out. Just join the 10%. Guess how many adult Americans in America have a library card? Answer, 3%. Wisdom of the world available. Change your life, build a career, build a future, get rich. In America at 4:15, the guy's not headed for the library. He's headed for happy hour. 2 for the price of 1, and it doesn't mean books. Easy to, but easy not to. So all of this is available now from other people. The books to read, listening, the DVDs, the videos, all the rest of it for your self-education. Remember what we said earlier. Formal education gets you a job. Self-education gets you rich. And these 2 days is part of your process of self-education. I congratulate you for the time and the money. Well invested. So pick up these ideas. By the time you leave here, you'll have a whole load of stuff to go home and consider and go to work on. Okay? So this is number 1, philosophy. We're affected by what we know and the decisions we make. From personal experience, other people's experiences, all this stuff. Now let's finally get to number 2 of the 5. Number 2 is attitude. We're affected by how we feel. First, we're affected by what we know. Second, we're affected by how we feel. Now, Zig Ziglar and I have had a debate for the last 45 plus years on, do you start with education or motivation first? I say, Zig, we should start with education first, then motivation. Zig says motivation first, then education. It's a pretty good debate. 45 years we've been debating. I say, Zig, if a guy's an idiot and you motivate him, now you got a motivated idiot. So, mark one for me, right? But then Zig comes back and says, yes, but you have to be motivated to be educated. See, that's very good. Zig's got such good stuff. He's the master. Zig says, my dentist told me, Zig, only floss the teeth you want to keep. Forget the rest. Zig is so good. But it's a good debate. But here's the truth now. You need both. Education, motivation. We need the mental part, the educational part, to make decisions about setting sail so we can take advantage of any wind to go where we want to go. Keep refining the set of sail, not cursing the wind, but setting sail. Then we need the motivational part, the emotional part, how we feel. Now let me give you 4 parts to the emotional part. Jot these notes down. These are good. Number 1, it's how you feel about the past. We need an educated emotional feeling about the past. All emotions must go to school and be educated so that they serve you and not embarrass you. It's okay to throw yourself on the floor and kick and scream when you're 3, but not 33. We expect you to have your emotions better trained, better under control. So the past is emotional, but here's the key to the past. Learn from it. Don't live in the past, and don't carry the past around like a burden to carry. Past losses, past failures, past mistakes. The key is to learn from the past, make the corrections, and invest that in the future. From the past, we get experience. We sometimes use the phrase, this man has a wealth of experience. That comes from the past, what he's learned, the mistakes he's made, the corrections he's made. So the key is not to live in the past, but to learn from the past. Now here's what's next. It's how you feel about the future. We look back for experience, but we now look forward for inspiration. And the inspirational part means set your goals. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? In my weekend series, there's a little workshop in there called Designing the Next 10 Years. And we don't have time to go through that in this session, but you'll hear it and you'll see it. Designing the next 10 years. The people that have been through it have said it was life-changing. Where do you want to go? What would you like to become? What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? What do you want for your business? What do you want to give away? Looking into the future and setting your goals. Some goals can be so dynamic, they're life-changing in terms of what you do to make it happen. Andrew Carnegie said, here's my life's goal. I'm going to spend the first half of my life earning money. He built the big steel industry in America. And he said, I'm going to spend the last half of my life giving it all away. He got so excited about that goal that the first half of his life, he earned and put together $400 million, which back then in the 30s was a lot of money. Guess what he did the last half of his life? He gave it all away. It was inspiring. The past, the future, everybody, and yourself. Now here's number 3. Number 3 is so dynamic, we could spend another couple of days on it, and you'll see why. First, we're affected by what we know, personal philosophy. Getting all of this information 2 whole days, taking it home, repackaging it, listening, reading, taking notes, do the workbook, all the stuff. Then attitudes that serve you well. Now here's number 3. And that's activity. We're affected by what we do. First, what we know. Second, how we feel. The real dynamic part is what you do. The activity is the work. We sometimes refer to it as labor. Labor pains. I'm short on personal experience here, but The mothers in the room would tell us it's quite an experience, the pain of labor. Why would an upcoming potential mother be willing to put herself through this maybe rather painful experience? She said, that's an easy answer. It's the miracle that creates new life. Why wouldn't she? If she can engage in this incredible miracle process of creating new life. Now, here's another way to put it that's part of the education. New life only comes from labor. It doesn't come from wish. It doesn't come from hope. It comes from work. In California, they're trying to use affirmations, but see, that doesn't work. I do believe in affirmations as long as you affirm the truth. It's the truth that sets you free. If you're broke, best thing to affirm is, I am broke. Haven't got $2 for the Girl Scout cookies. So you put that up on the refrigerator. I'm broke. If that doesn't work, put this up there. I'm 40 and broke. So you put that up there. If that doesn't work, say, I live in Singapore, land of opportunity, and I'm 40 and I'm broke. Something is wrong. That'll drive you to the library to get a card. More seminars to get some more information. Affirm, yes, but always affirm the truth. Why? The truth sets you free to do two things. Make these notes. The truth sets you free, number one, to correct old errors in judgment. You can't do better till you correct old errors that brought you to a poor place. But anybody can correct the errors. Now, the truth also helps you set up new, easy disciplines, like we've been talking about for the last hour and a half, 2 hours. Correct errors in judgment and set up new, easy disciplines. And remember, all disciplines affect each other. Each one affects the rest, and all affects one. Somebody says, well, this is the only place I let down. Not true. Every letdown affects the rest. Here's the next truth. Every new discipline affects the rest. All of us as speakers here are probably trying to get you to think some new things and do some new things. Why? Because if you start doing a few new things, it'll affect all the rest of your disciplines for your life and your health and your future. So the work is what's important. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. That's why I think the old formula is probably the best. The ancient formula says six days of what? Work. Wow. 1 day what? Rest. It's important not to get these numbers mixed up. Now, why is that? Make the note. It's not rest that builds the city of Singapore. It's not rest that creates good health. It's not rest that creates a fortune. It's not rest that makes you rich. It's not rest that creates the enterprise that blesses millions. Not rest. It's the work that does it. We must rest. But in the leadership series, jot this down. Here's what we teach. For leaders, only rest long enough to gather strength. No more. Enough to gather strength to go back to work the next 6 days. To build a city. Find a polio vaccine. Create wealth for the family. Build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. That's what the 6 days are for. Work miracles. Rest is like food. Only enough food to gather strength. More would be detrimental. Only enough rest to gather strength. More would be a disadvantage, not an advantage. So learn to employ these 6 days wisely. That's why we're giving you all of this information, all of the speakers these 2 days. Information on how to wisely employ the 6 days. So it creates for you not only a living for your life, but a fortune. That's the key. These are 6 days of working miracles. Here's what it's called. How to turn nothing into something. How do you do that? Turn nothing into something. Number one, use your imagination. Number two, believe it's possible. Number three, go to work and make it happen. That's how all tangible things exist. Imagination, faith to believe it's possible, go to work and make it happen. Now I'm doing a little thing on the seventh day, make it multi-purpose seventh day. Friendship, family, rest, spirituality, church, whatever. Multi-purpose seventh day. But also the purpose of the seventh day is to go back over the last 6 days and say, who did I see and who did I miss? What happened? What corrections should I make in the last 6 days of activity and productivity? Then invest that information by looking to the next 6 days. This seventh day is multi-purpose, looking back for the information that helps us to correct the future. This is a good formula. Take a little time on that seventh day to look back, make some corrections, invest it in the next 6 days. Okay, you got this now? The activity, the work. The drama of reality comes from the work that turns imagination and faith into reality. Be anxious for the 6 days. I couldn't wait to get here to tell my story one more time. I don't need the money. I take the money, Richard. I take the money. But I don't need the money. Guess what I need? The joy. Long time ago, I became financially independent. One of the advantages of financial independence, the ability to live from the income of your invested resources, is now you can work for joy and not for necessity. And guess what? You'll probably work harder for joy than you do for necessity. Couldn't wait to get to the Philippines a few days ago. Then I couldn't wait to get to Malaysia. Couldn't wait to get here. Now I'm on my way to Los Angeles and then Mexico. A single mother started attending my classes 12 years ago in Mexico. Sarah Alfaro. She told me last month her income was $92,000. Single mother with children. Now she's still a single mother with grandchildren. 12 years ago, started listening to this stuff. Sarah, now $92,000 a month, which in Mexico is a lot of money. Simple stuff that can make a difference in anybody's life. So why wouldn't I go to Mexico one more time and have somebody come and say, Mr. Rohn, 12 years ago, I attended your class. Now look at my family, look at my business, look at my income. I support worthy causes. See, this is exciting stuff. But the whole key is to become enthused about the activity, not reluctant, saying, oh no, not another week. Some people have joined the thank God it's Friday club. Learn to appreciate the work that works the miracle, turning imagination into reality. Okay.